If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. We have more news on Post Malone's new album, 12 Carat Toothache. So today we got the track list. We're going to go over how this came to be. This is not an official release from him, but we got it through Apple Music, the way it sometimes works. We're going to take a look at it, see what tracks are on here, and what else Posty has said about the record in the meantime since I made the last video. So let's jump straight into this. So we finally gotten the track list, and we didn't get it through a post from Posty or anything, but we got it through the Apple Music pre-save side and the preview side, where we can also find the singles that I've released so far. So let's take a look at this. So this is it. So we can see that, the album cover is the butterfly, picture that we thought it was going to be, that was already used for the rollout for Cooped Up, which I do like. I think that picture looks really cool. It kind of clears up the whole speculation as to, we thought it was going to be different pictures, but this one turns out to be it. Now, we're kind of going over a couple of, basic things on here. We can see June 3rd, the release date, as we knew, and at the bottom we can see that it's 14 songs and 43 minutes, which I think is a good length. Could have been a bit longer. 14 songs, when you kind of break it down with 43 minutes, that means the average track is just above 3 minutes in length, which I think is pretty good, but not like crazy long tracks on here. So let's look at this. Let's actually see what we can find on the track list. So 14 tracks. We start off with a track called Reputation. No feature on there. I don't think we've heard leaks on this one. So for the ones that we don't have leaks for, that don't have features, not a lot we can say about that. Kind of speculate about the title, which I want all of y'all to do in the comments down below. The second track is Already Cooped Up with Roddy Ricch, that we already got, which I enjoyed quite a bit. I thought that was a really solid track. Not like a hype track, but a chill track that really just shows a solid foundation of what Posty is about. And Roddy wasn't too good, but it still added to the track. Track number 3 is called Lemon Tree. Also, we don't know what this is about. Could be a reference to, Lemon Tree. Number 4 is Wrapped Around Your Finger. I kind of have a feeling we had something for this in terms of leaks or snippets. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we've heard a snippet of this before. We definitely have of the next track, I Like You, and then it says a happier song, which I think is funny because the next one says a sadder song, kind of giving us the vibe of the song already. The first one is featuring Doja Cat, and we've definitely heard this on the Instagram live that he was previewing it on. So that one is gonna sound, I think it sounded really cool. Then we have I Cannot Be, as I just said, a sadder song with Gunna. Again, Gunna just hopping on every album that he can get his hands on, free Gunna. And then we have the track called Insane as the 7th track. Also don't know what that is going to be about. Then we have what's so far my favorite track on the album out of the 3 singles, or out of the snippets we have so far, which is Love Hate Letter to Alcohol featuring Fleet Foxes. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but he performed this on SNL Live, where he, gave us a really emotional performance of this. And if you haven't yet, make sure you go check out that video. It's already gotten over 1 million views on YouTube, so it's like people are picking up on that. It really seems like he poured his whole heart in that song, so make sure you go check that out. Really worth it. Then we have a Kid Laroi track, Wasting Angels. I don't know how to feel about that, but I guess their styles go hand in hand. So we have a Kid Laroi track. And let me just say that title sounds exactly like I would imagine a Kid Laroi track. Like I know exactly what this track is gonna sound like already, and what they're gonna talk about, which I don't like that much, but I guess it makes for some commercial appeal to the record. Then we have a track called Euthanasia, which sounds very dark. I don't know what he's gonna talk about. Probably not about euthanasia itself, but more like as a metaphor. Then we have a track When I'm Alone. We're kind of gonna go into what the whole album is about anyway, because some of these track titles do sound a bit depressing, a bit down, but Posty kind of clears this up. I'm going to get into it in a second. Then we have Waiting for a Miracle, also more of a, sadder, tone to it. Then we have One Right Now with The Weeknd that I enjoyed quite a bit as well. I thought that was a really solid track. It's going to add some sales to the record. We also have to view it from that perspective. And the last track is just called New Recording 12, January 3rd, 2020. So we can see this has been in the making for a very long time, because January 3rd, 2020 was only like 2 months after he released Hollywood's Bleeding. So he's been working on this for some time, but it's likely just going to be like a voice memo, because this is the format that, like, you know, the Apple iPhone voice recordings are in, I guess. Now also, when you go to the top of the page and there's like a little about section for the record, it says 12 Carat Toothache, Post Malone. Post Malone has returned, and with a new single to soundtrack his comeback. Cooped Up, which features Roddy Ricch, finds the pair waxing poetic about fame's ups and downs, which will be a recurring theme on Posty's forthcoming album, 12 Carat Toothache. Pre-edit now to hear it first when it drops on June 3rd. So this already tells us that there's going to be a theme on this record talking about fame's ups and downs, which has been something that the title already suggested and that he's talked about in the past, but that's just kind of, you know, officially on the Apple page now. Also, he did an interview with Zane Lowe on like a FaceTime interview type of stuff, talking about the record, and there he says that this album will be his most honest. Maybe that also explains some of the, you know, titles of the tracks on there, as I just said. He says that's what the whole record is about. It's the bipolar aspect and the duality of everything. And so there's a lot of things very much so on this record that are tongue-in-cheek. And I think the whole record is the most honest record I've made, and I'm so pumped for people to hear it. But every song in there tells a story. So this is kind of like, here's the life that we live, but there's always something going on in the background. And that might also explain the duality between, like, you know, I Like You, a happier song, and I Cannot Be, a sadder song. Maybe also why in the second half of the track list the titles get so, you know, dark, even though they're kind of like dark all the way through. So, and the cover art also seems very dark, so I'm not sure if we're in for like a very happy album besides that Doja Cat song, but we're gonna have to see how that one turns out. But this is kind of the info we have. This is Post Malone's new record, 12 Carat Toothache, and the info we have so far on this. I think the track list is looking pretty solid. I like the length of it. I like the runtime of it. I like the features we have, except for, you know, Kid Laroi feature. I don't know if that's really necessary. If he says every track on the album tells a story, and then just Kid Laroi comes in there, waste an angel. I don't know. That's just me, man. But this is what we got so far. He also talked a little bit about it. We got the little info box, but now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for this? What track are you looking forward to the most? Which one do we have leaks for? Do let me know, as I'm not really into the leaks and need y'all to like get me up to date with that, and what track is going to be fire. What do you think about the couple of things he said about the record, and do you have high or low expectations for this? All of this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.